communion. Holding on, my soul was longing for us to live this union. Wanting nothing else in life except to just be with him. Be with him. Nothing in this world could ever compete with him. But I'm in college now, trying to walk this out. But it's harder now. Can I talk to y'all? I got caught in this mess. Learning to walk in the flesh. And now I thirst for him less. Watching him walking in dress. I saw him crossing how it took me from the world. And how he told me to cut lost.
How you guys doing today? Jason A. Kuhn here, giving you a Fight the Deception with Real Perception Christian News Brief for November 4th, 2013. A lot of news. I hope I can fit it in the 15-minute time limit. Let's jump into here at WashingtonCBSLocal.com. Obama, I want to put the fear of God in all of you. President Barack Obama cast Republican Ken Cuccinelli on Sunday as part of an extreme Tea Party faction that shut down the government, throwing the political weight of the White House behind Democrat Terry McAuliffe in the final days of the bitter race for governor. Nothing makes me more nervous than when my supporters start feeling too confident, Obama said during the rally. So I want to put the fear of God in all of you. Let's move on here to BeforeIt'sNews.com. Obama tells staff that he's really good at killing people. Take a long moment and look at the photo below. It's a picture of some of the people killed in the American drone strikes in the last 4 years. After you've done that, go and reread the headline of this article. Not only did Obama order the drone strikes that killed those kids, he bragged about it to his staff. He bragged about it. He'll do it here in America one day too, to your kids. He's really good at killing people, said so himself. Forward, right? From the Blaze, President Barack Obama told his staff that he's really good at killing people, according to a new book set to hit shelves Tuesday. The book, titled Double Down and authored by Mark Halperin and John Heilman, reportedly says the Nobel Peace Prize winning president made the comments while discussing drone strikes with his aides. Let's move on to CNN.com, how drones will change your life. Apart from what they do for the military, drones have already proven themselves capable of sheep herders, delivery boys, tour guides, filmmakers, archaeologists, and possibly spies. The global economic potential of these machines is astounding. A recent study estimated the worldwide market for unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, at $89 billion in 2013. Proponents are eager to point out the many ways they're going to make our lives better. Yeah, they'll make our lives better. Wait and see about that. Here's a YouTube video where why were IRS special agents using semi-automatic rifles and AR-15s practicing at a gun range? Give this a listen.
Wood County to Washington now. There could be more political problems for the IRS. An upstate congressman says the agency is packing heat.
Jeff Duncan says he saw IRS special agents using semi-automatic rifles at a gun range. Now he wants answers to why the agency needs that type of firepower. News 4's Sean Muzzarello has this exclusive interview.
Congressman Jeff Duncan wants answers after seeing something at an indoor federal firing range.
I expect their law enforcement to get sidearms. I don't expect their law enforcement to have a need for long rifles, whether it's an AR-15 or whether it's an MP5.
There you go. Let's move on. Another YouTube video. Muslims taking over a small town in Tennessee. It has been nearly 20 years since Somalia has had a functioning government. Islamic jihadists now control most of the country, and Sharia law is the law of the land. Tens of thousands of Somali refugees have resettled in America in recent years to escape the chaos of their homeland, which is located in the Horn of Africa. But the transition isn't going smoothly in one small town. At first glance, Shelbyville is your typical sleepy southern hamlet. It's nestled in the middle of Tennessee, where the walking horse is king. There's Main Street, the local sheriff, the movie theater. It's all very Mayberry. Except for one big difference, the recent arrival of hundreds of Somali Muslims. Shelbyville is about an hour's drive from Nashville in the heart of the Bible Belt. Like many Americans, the citizens of Shelbyville knew little about Somalia other than the 1993 Black Hawk Down incident, in which 18 U.S. servicemen were killed while battling warlords and Islamic jihadists in the Somali capital of Mogadishu. So when hundreds of Somalis began turning up in the town, many of them dressed in traditional Islamic garbs, locals quickly took notice. Let's give this a listen.
At first glance, Shelbyville is your typical sleepy southern town. It's nestled in Middle Tennessee, where the...
Wow, I guess this video is just literally what I just read. If you want to watch this full video, of course, it'll be linked in the YouTube description box. Let's move on to rawstory.com. CIA forced doctors to violate ethics codes to torture suspected terrorists after 9/11. Doctors and psychologists working for the U.S. military violated the ethical codes for their profession under instruction from the Defense Department and the CIA to become involved in the torture and degrading treatment of suspected terrorists, an investigation has concluded. The report of the Task Force on Preserving Medical Professionalism in National Security Detention Centers concludes that after 9/11, health professionals working with the military and intelligence services designed and participated in cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment and torture of detainees. Let's move on. RT.com, U.S. peace effort waivers as Israel issues tenders for new settlement homes. Israel issued more than 1,700 new tenders for Jewish settlements in the West Bank on Sunday, complicating U.S.-backed peace talks with the Palestinian Authority. The announcement comes ahead of a visit from U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. The idea of more settler homes in the occupied West Bank is opposed by the U.S. and other world powers. The tenders are part of a previously announced settlers' home plan for construction. The plans were revealed just hours after the release of a second batch of Palestinian prisoners on Wednesday. Let's move on here to NewsRadio.com. Pussy Riot member disappears during Russian prison move. The Russian prison service has announced through the Interfax news agency that Talakanova has been sent to another penal colony, although she has yet to be heard from or seen since the transfer more than 10 days ago. The saga of the all-female Russian punk band Pussy Riot has taken a chilling turn as band member Nadezhda Talakanova has been missing for the past 10 days, according to relatives. Tolokanovo's disappearance can be traced back to when the 23-year-old musician was being transferred from a prison colony in Mordovia. There's no proof she's alive. We don't know the state of her health. Tolokanova's father told BuzzFeed. Is she sick? Has she been beaten? Looks like she might have disappeared or they might have killed her. Let's move on here to the collegefix.com. Gay sex pundit paid $24,000 to talk fisting gorilla suit fetishes with students. The notoriously raunchy and popular homosexual sex advice columnist and pundit Dan Savage visited the University of Oregon in mid-October, and more recently, it was revealed thanks to the public records request that he was paid $24,000 for his talk, which included discussions about students about the art of fisting and gorilla suit fetishes. Wow, let's move on here to Infowars.com, article written by Paul Joseph Watson. Cops tase father trying to save 3-year-old son from a house fire. Give this a listen.
The small town of Louisiana, Missouri is mourning the loss of a toddler. A makeshift memorial now stands outside the now destroyed apartment.
We've been going through pictures and he's just smiling in every picture. He was just happy-go-lucky kid.
On Thursday morning, Kathy and Ryan Miller woke up to find a fire engulfing their home. Their son Riley was asleep in the bedroom. When the parents were unable to reach him, they went out to the back door and attempted to reach him through a separate entrance. Ryan kicked down the front door, but Louisiana police did not allow him to enter. Family members say officers tased Ryan 3 times before restraining him and then put him into handcuffs in the back of a police car. Ryan's sister-in-law does not think police handled the situation correctly.
It's just heartless. How could they be so heartless? And why they all just stood around and waited for the fire department? What kind of police officer wouldn't try to save a 3-year-old burning in a house?
There you go. Let's move on here to TheNewAmerican.com. Pro-life group Texas abortionist kills live-born babies. The Texas-based pro-life group is drawing attention to a late-term abortionist who has committed crimes it charges that are as horrific as those convicted murderer Kermit Gosnell. The Philadelphia abortionist serving a life sentence for killing babies who were born alive in his House of Horrors clinic, according to those who worked at the clinic. Gosnell and a handful of associates may have murdered hundreds of babies during the decades the clinic was open by delivering them alive and then plunging a surgical scissors into the newborn's neck and snipping their spinal cords. In the case of Houston abortionist Douglas Carpin, Texas-based Life Dynamics says the employees at his clinic have recounted similar stories of horrific child murders, but thus far nothing has been done to stop the late-term abortion mechanic or to bring him to justice for the alleged murders. Let's move on here to Forbes.com. Florida cops made millions dealing cocaine, the latest asset forfeiture outrage. It sounds like a plot ripped straight from Grand Theft Auto 5. Police conduct reverse sting operations posing as drug dealers to lure buyers with promises of cheap cocaine. Once the deals go down, cops bust the buyers using the state and federal forfeiture laws and seize their cash and cars. For years, police in Sunrise, California have concluded these lucrative reverse stings between 2011 and 2012. Sunrise police made over $5.8 million in forfeiture proceeds, according to the Sun Sentinel, which broke the story. The city now has a whole parking lot packed with seized cars. Incredibly, cops would usually have at least 1 kilo of bona fide blow when meeting the buyers. Move on to the last article of the day at benswan.com. You can now buy You can now pay for your Starbucks with food stamps. In Oregon, one woman just pulled it off. Jackie Fowler, in Salem, Oregon, food stamp recipient, went inside the luxurious Starbucks franchise located inside a Safeway grocery store with the local Fox News station filming. She purchased one tall Frappuccino and a slice of pumpkin loaf. Her total was $5.25. She slid her Oregon Trail food stamp card, paid it in part by the federal government, and handed it to the cashier who processed the transaction. Fowler only made the purchase to assist Fox News with the investigation. They're overpriced as it is, said Fowler of the luxury brand. That's the money that somebody could be eating with. A loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, Fowler says. The program is in need to reform due to the abuse. Last article I got for you guys today. I don't want to leave you without the New World Order quote of the day. This is brought to you by ex-President James Madison. History records that the money changers have used every form of abuse, intrigue, deceit, and violent means possible to maintain their control over governments by controlling money and its issuance. Again, that was James Madison. I don't want to leave you without the proverb of the day, Proverbs 10:2, King James only. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. You guys can check me out at Facebook at Jason A. Coon. Also, that's my YouTube channel, Jason A. Coon. And please check out my ministry page on Facebook, Romans 12:2, Transforming Ministries. And I'll leave you guys off with the song I brought you in on. This is by the 116 Click No More.
I won't play them no more.